with my UAPB Week 11 match against, as you can see in the title, OldManTup, which I am obviously thrilled about. I've been watching Tup forever. I've been watching him in the GBA, of course, in the PPL, in the short stint that he was in it. So being able to fight him is really quite a cool experience. It's a big draw as to why I even joined the league in the first place, if I'm being honest. So really excited to get into this match to show you. Let's go ahead and jump into the matchup. First up, my draft, obviously, as you can see here. We have Victini, Celesteela, Mega Venusaur, Sylveon Crocodile, Mantine, Haxorus, Exploud, Raichu, Mimikyu, and Alolan Persian. He has, as you can see, Mono's GBA Season 7 team. He has Jirachi, Mega Altaria, Dugtrio, Buzzwole, Suicune, Jolteon, Miltank, Roserade, Hitmonlee, Yanmega, and Torkoal. Like I said, it's not exactly Mega Altaria's, or it's not exactly Monotsui's GBA 7 team, but it's Jirachi, Dugtrio, Buzzwole, so on. Like, it's kind of Mono's Season 7 team. It's heavily inspired, you can tell. But as you can see, a very threatening team indeed. I believe he got like number 2 or number 3 in the post-draft power rankings. And things like, Special Jirachi is really scary for my team. Obviously, Mega Altaria is a monster. Dugtrio traps a lot of my offense. Jolteon is really good against my team because it outspeeds all of it, and it just puts really a good amount of pressure on it. My team is just, I've learned, it's just poorly drafted, but we've made it work pretty well so far. Let's talk about the implications of this game before we jump into the team builder. We actually, surprisingly, it's crazy. So I haven't been uploading much this season because after I left for 3 weeks because my computer was broken and I got a new one. We were given 3 forfeit wins, and I was pretty unmotivated after that point because I was not able to make those up, much to my dismay, which means I was like, okay, there's no way I can make playoffs now. However, right now at the moment, I have a 4-6 record. However, I have a positive differential because I did get a 6-0. I think I get a couple 6-0s, and all my wins have been of high differential. So, because I 4-0'd Jazz last week. The divisions are 3 people, and Jazz and Troy, the other 2 people are in my division, are actually lower record than me right now. So I am currently, even before this game, division champion. If I win this game, I clinch playoffs 100%, and that is very exciting. So this game actually has quite a bit of weight. It has a lot of weight for Tup too, however, because if he wins this game, he is in a much better position to make playoffs as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the team builder. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over my mons. As you can see, we brought Victini, Mega Venusaur, Exploud, Crocodile, Celesteela, and Mimikyu. This first set we do have just, max attack, max speed, Victini with V-Create, U-Turn, Toxic, and Dazzling Gleam, because you can tell it's just very solid against his team. It can spam V-Create on basically everything except for Miltank, Torkoal, Mega Altaria, and Suicune. Yeah, I didn't say Suicune. So, and I can Toxic Miltank, I can Toxic Mega Altaria, I can Toxic them all, and I can Dazzling Gleam Mega Altaria. And other than that, nothing wants to take V-Create. Victini's Bulk is a really good draw today because he can take any hit from basically anything on his team and then nuke it back with V-Create. Shed Shell is obviously really nice because I can catch him off guard if he tries to trap me with his Dugtrio and switch into something like my Crocodile or like my Celesteela. So that's really nice. Definitely pretty happy with that. Next up, we do have a mixed defensive Mega Venusaur. These EVs do have a point, I promise you, but I don't remember what they were. I believe Mega Venusaur is crept for a non-invested base 85, or something along those lines. It's something. Is Suicune base 85? It may be. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's the non-invested Suicune that this is creeping. And then the defense, I promise you it's there for something, but it's a Venusaur, it's pretty nice. Synthesis, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, and Leech Seed. Obviously, Synthesis for reliable recovery. Giga Drain is really good for things like the Suicune, like the Doug Trio. But those two are the main thing. Probably the move I could go without the least. Sludge Bomb, of course, is essential for hitting the Buzzwole, for hitting the Roserade, for hitting the Mega Altaria, most of all. It's just really, really nice. And finally, we do have Leech Seed, so I don't just give Jirachi a free switch in every time it comes in. And the Leech Seed is just really nice because I can click it against anything, and unless he has Roserade, it will not be... He doesn't have any kind of resistance to it, and that's really nice. Next up, we do have a Choice Specs X-Cloud, because we do have, or right now we do have 2 semi-strong Pokemon, but they're also kind of there for their bulk. This is just a nice wall breaker, comes in on things like the Torkoal, comes in on Miltank, physically defensive Miltank for my Victini. Obviously can live a lot of hits from things like Doug Trio, from Jirachi, from Jolteon, and they can fire back with a Boom Burst. It's just a really solid Pokemon overall. He has no switch in, he has no normal resist other than his Jirachi, which I can Fire Blast, so that's really, really nice. And then we put Sleep Talk on there. We did not put a 4th move, so that if we do get put to sleep by Roserade's Sleep Powder, we have the biggest chance to hit Boom Burst. Obviously max speed, or max special attack, enough speed to outspeed a non-invested Suicune. As you can see, the same speed tier as Mega Venusaur, and everything else in defense, so I can hit, so I can take Doug Trio's Earthquakes the best. Moving on, we do have a Flying EMZ, just 3 attacks, Stealth Rocks, Crocodile. Max speed, because actually max speed Adamant is 1 point faster than a Jolly max speed Buzzwole, which is really, really nice. So I can run Adamant. Obviously, Aerial Ace is for the Buzzwole. The Aerial Ace OHKOs that thing if it is not physically defensive. I can set up Rocks, which is really, really nice because his removal is quite limited, and I don't think he'd want to bring it. His removal being either Hitmonlee or Torkoal. And Rocks are just really good for things like the Torkoal, like the Yanmega. And for just generally chipping down things like the Suicune and breaking the Sash on Doug Trio. So it's just really nice knocking off items. His ground resist isn't fantastic. It's basically Buzzwole, which we can hit with Zero Aerial Ace, and so it's just another nice wall breaker. As you can see, we have a really strong team right now with, I made sure to put Intimidate on this thing because I definitely wanted to be able to intimidate things like a potential physical Jirachi, Dragon Dancing Mega Altaria, a Doug Trio, Miltank, I guess. Just be able to, and mostly Buzzwole, just be able to intimidate things, and be able to intimidate things so I don't have as much issues with them. Next up, we do have some more bulk. We do have a Wakanberry, physically defensive Celesteela, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Substitute, Leech Seed. Wakanberry, of course, is there for the Jolteon, so I can EQ that thing, but it can also come in handy if he doesn't bring Jolteon, because I can eat a Thunder Punch from Buzzwole and then fire back with a Heavy Slam or a Leech Seed. So that will be really, really nice. This is a nice switch in into Buzzwole. I know it kind of sucks that we don't have Flamethrower or something like that, but I just don't think we could fit it on the team. I feel like Earthquake is a lot better, so we can hit Jolteon, and Heavy Slam is just really important to hit basically everything else. So we are mostly physically defensive because otherwise we kind of got messed up royally by Buzzwole and like Hitmonlee, especially some kind of setup Hitmonlee. Plus, this helps us deal with, obviously, a Dragon Dancing Mega Altaria is very, very spooky. That is its main function. And then other than that, it's just there to be annoying, which is obviously very much appreciated. Finally, we do have a Life Orb, Adamant, Mimikyu, Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak, Woodhammer, Play Rough. We have Woodhammer, so we can add +2 Life Orb. We do OHKO a defensive Suicune, which is really nice. And if we get up a Swords Dance, depending on how much we've chipped the Jirachi, as well as Buzzwole potentially, depending on both of those sets, we can OHKO basically his entire team after a Swords Dance, which is really, really nice. This Pokemon is just really, really good. Has a great matchup. So, what do I expect him to bring? I definitely expect him to bring a special Jirachi because he is very much struggles to hit my Mega Venusaur with any kind of stab. He only has obviously a special Jirachi and Yanmega, which is not the greatest. And then otherwise, he doesn't have a great way to really touch this thing. So I definitely expect a special Jirachi, potentially either a DD Mega Altaria with Fire Blast tacked on, or just a full special Fire Blast. Or a full special Mega Altaria, because Celesteela is the most obvious switch in the world to Mega Altaria. I definitely expect Dugtrio, as it does trap a lot of my offense. Buzzwole, I can see it coming, but I can also not see it coming. Jolteon, I fully expect, because this thing is really, really threatening, because it outspeeds all of my team. I expect either one of Miltank, Suicune, or Torkoal. I don't really expect Torkoal because it's a Torkoal, but I expect one of those three as a Victini check. And I don't really expect the Hitmonlee that much because I have a Mimikyu. And Yanmega I can see coming just for the Mega Venusaur, unless he's just a really good Jirachi set. So that's what I expect. Getting on into the game, as you can see, he did bring Mega Altaria, Jirachi, Yanmega, Torkoal, Dugtrio, and Miltank. So let's go ahead and go over what he didn't bring. Did not bring Buzzwole, did not bring Suicune, did not bring Jolteon, which I was very surprised at. Did not bring Roserade, and did not bring Hitmonlee. So Jolteon is obviously the most surprising of those, because as you can see, it's walled by Mega Venusaur, but and Crocodile, I guess, but it gets like Signal Beam and Hidden Power Ice, so Crocodile isn't the safest, but I thought he was going to bring it. He didn't, so I guess that's pretty good. One thing I noticed is that he does not have any removal other than his Torkoal. And obviously that's not the best remover, and rocks are fantastic this game for chipping down the Mega Altaria, for the Yanmega, for the Torkoal, and for breaking a potential sash on Dugtrio. So overall, I feel like just leading off with my Crocodile, try and get up rocks turn 1 is really safe, as he does lead with the Dugtrio. I'm assuming to try and catch my Victini lead, possibly. I don't really know what else he'd be trying to catch, but we do catch him with the Crocodile. Maybe he's trying to set up rocks. As here, I'm going to just set up rocks because I have no reason not to, as he goes into the Mega Altaria. Now here, I have no reason not to go into my Celesteela, because we can find out vital information about this thing. If he's special, okay. If he's physical, okay. So I'm going to go into my Celesteela, as he does Mega and go for the Fire Blast. That's fine. We're not even 2-hit KO'd. So we're completely fine to just stay in here. The fact that this thing is not Dragon Dance makes this thing a lot less threatening. Of course, Celesteela isn't a very safe switch into it anymore, but that's really fine. It doesn't need to be. Here, I figure he's not going to stay in, because obviously I can live another Fire Blast and kill him with a Heavy Slam. So I do go for the Leech Seed, predicting something like the Torkoal to come in, and that's exactly what he goes into. It's very nice. Celesteela is a little healthier now, and his Torkoal is quite weakened. Now here I'm like, okay, most likely he is going to either overheat or Lava Plume or something to that effect to try and kill me, or he's going to Rapid Spin the rocks away. Either way, I feel like a Substitute is my best play, as I can continue to stall out Leech Seed, as I do guaranteed outspeed this thing. So I did not take into account with this play, Rapid Spin actually does take off Leech Seed. I did not even think about that, so that's quite unfortunate, as we are not going to be able to stall out any more Leech Seed, which is really unfortunate. However, we are going to be able to go for the Earthquake and get a good amount of damage off on this thing, as he does miss a Fire Blast, which is quite unfortunate. I'm going to Heavy Slam here, as he, because another Earthquake wasn't going to kill him regardless, and it covered him going into Yanmega, as he is going to reveal the Wiki Berry, which is quite annoying, obviously, because this thing is pretty annoying to deal with, because all we've done right now is just chip it down, as he does finally hit a Fire Blast and break my Substitute. So here I'm like, okay, Celesteela is looking pretty useless because of that very low range of health right now, and Mega Altaria isn't even physical, so we don't need it for that thing. So the only thing we might need it for is, like, I guess, Dugtrio and like a physical Jirachi, and I fully expect that thing to be special. So Celesteela is looking really expendable at the moment, so I think I'm just going to sack this thing off for some Earthquake damage, as he does miss another Fire Blast, and it is very unfortunate. Me and Tup were talking about it. I don't know how much it mattered in the long run of things. Definitely mattered for differential, but I don't know if that could have won him the game. So you're going to finally Earthquake and take him down to 9%, as he is going to finally hit a Fire Blast, take out the Celesteela. Alright, so we can just go hard into our X-Cloud, because here we get a kill, unless we go unless he goes into the Jirachi. But if he goes into the Jirachi, that's going to find we're going to find out vital information, which is really nice, as well as get a lot of chip damage on that thing. And if we get a Brox, this Torkoal dies regardless, so really don't mind if he goes Jirachi. I am free to click Boom Burst here, as he does just sack off his Torkoal, so no problem at all. X-Blood gets 1 kill, and here he's going to go into his Jirachi. I have no information about this thing, and this thing is probably the biggest threat to my team because I don't know anything about this. I feel like Crocodile is somewhat expendable at this point. I just feel like it's my best switch into this thing, whether it's physical or special, because I can get the Intimidate off on it if it's physical. So I'm just going to go hard into my Crocodile, get the Intimidate off, as he does go for a substitute. I'm like, oh god, please don't be sub Calm Mind plus coverage, because if he's something like sub Calm Mind, Psychic, and Energy Ball, that could destroy my team. So I was very scared. Or something like Moonblast, because this thing does get Moonblast. But I had no reason. I had to break this thing sub. I could not let this thing set up on me. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff to try and break this thing sub, as he goes for the Shadow Ball. This is huge. This Jirachi does not have coverage to hit my Crocodile. It is walled by Crocodile. And that's amazing. So this Jirachi just became a lot less of a threat, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my rocks on this Jirachi, because I have no reason not to. And here he goes into the Mega Altaria. For obvious reasons, I don't want to stay in, because if he's revealed with the Fire Blast damage on my Celesteela that he is a fully special Mega Altaria, which is completely fine. I'm going to go into my Victini on the Hyper Voice or Fire Blast, as he does go ahead and does very little damage. Here, my biggest worry is that he was a Cotton Guard Roost set, and I just really didn't want to deal with that. And this play also covered the Miltank. I just wanted to set up a Toxic on this thing, as he does just go for the Ominous Wind. That is pretty funny. Let's say he had gotten the boost there. First off, that's a really cool tech by Tup. I think that's really fun. I didn't even know it got Ominous Wind. I definitely didn't prep for it. Let's say he had gotten the +1 boost on everything. I can then just go into my Mimikyu, and my disguise is still intact, of course, so I can go ahead and play rough and take this thing out. So it's not the biggest deal that we did not, that he did not get the boost. Obviously, he's only 10%, but we had ways to stop it if he did get the boost. So he's going to go ahead and take all of that toxic damage, and here I am just going to go out into my Venusaur, because see, he's revealed basically his whole set, because I'm assuming he has Roost. And so he's pretty much walled by Mega Venusaur after I Mega. So he goes for the Ominous Wind. Thankfully doesn't get the boost again, which is really nice. And so now I am free to go ahead and Mega my Venusaur, and I'm going to Leech Seed, because I predicted he would go hard into his Jirachi, as he actually just Fire Blast for 20%. That's fine. Now here I figured he would probably go hard into Jirachi now, because he saw how much Fire Blast didn't do. So I'm going to double Leech Seed. However, he's okay with just staying in and clicking Fire Blast, which, I mean, I guess that's fine with me. I'm getting health back anyways. He's very low at this point. Alright, sorry about that, we are back. So, like I was saying, I am very okay with the situation that's happening right now, because he can keep Fire Blasting. I'm just going to keep clicking Leech Seed, because I don't want him to get a free switch into his Jirachi, as we are going to continue to get Leech Seed recovery back. And here, I figure if he's content to just stay in and Fire Blast, I want to make sure my Venusaur is as healthy as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and Synthesis. As he goes for a Fire Blast, unfortunately misses. However, I think it only would have in the end be like 4% off on my Mega Venusaur, so not the biggest deal, as he goes into the Yanmega. Now here I calc, and no matter what, unless he is Z-Fly, like some kind of Z-Air Slash, he cannot kill my Mega Venusaur, which is really nice. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click Sludge Bomb, because I do kill this Yanmega from here, and if I can just get rid of this thing right here, that would be really nice. So he does go for the Air Slash. Takes a lot of damage, but we are going to be able to Sludge Bomb. That crit did not matter, and we don't get flinched, so that's really nice. Looking back on it, the reason I made that play was because I didn't really have a good switch into Mega Venusaur, or into Yanmega. I didn't have a switch in at all, truth be told, so that's why I made that play. Here he goes into Dugtrio, just trying to trap my Mega Venusaur. Obviously that's completely fine. He's going to take out my Mega Venusaur. That's fine. It did its job. So we are now up 4-3. As you can see, Crocodile's really good against his team right now. Xploud's really good. Just the entire rest of my team is really good against his team. However, it's all dependent mostly on that Miltank set. If it's physically defensive, that's fine. We can basically OHKO that thing with Xploud and be okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my Crocodile, and I'm always going to click EQ here because I can just nab a kill. As he just goes hard into his Jirachi, actually, just sacking it off. Which is a questionable play because he does now here go back into his Dugtrio, which kind of indicates this thing is choiced. However, he just clicks EQ, which he clicked last time, so he could have clicked it before. So he kind of sacked off his Jirachi for no reason, which was kind of a strange play. However, we are now up 4-1 as he goes into his Miltank. Now here, we have no idea about this Miltank. However, I figure I can just go into my Mimikyu and go ahead and wall this thing out for a 4-0 victory. However, as you see, Power Up Punch connects. First off, he has Power Up Punch. Second off, he is scrappy. Despite me having a despite me having a Victini, he is not thick fat, which is quite insane. So, anyway, he is now he does reveal to be a offensive Miltank, which is terrifying. I'm like, oh my god. The scary part is this thing could sweep me. This thing is faster or speed tied with the rest of my team. This thing could sweep me. So I was really trying not to choke away this game. So I'm going to go ahead and just play rough, try and scout the damage as he does Power Up Punch once more. I'm like, oh god, I'm really scared. I do get Life Orb damage, and I am slowly chipping away at my Mimikyu. I'm not sure if he has coverage or if he has Milk Drink. If he has doesn't have Milk Drink, I do just win right here. But he does have Milk Drink. I'm like, oh no. I'm really scared. I don't want to lose this game. So here I'm going to go hard into the Crocodile because I don't want this thing. I just want to get the Intimidate drop off. And as he goes for the Milk Drink. And here he did reveal, by the way, to be max speed, which means he has no, or at least not very much, bulk investment. Here I'm going to try and knock off, but it didn't work. As he goes for the Power Up Punch, and here this was a bit of a misplay. Now at this point I had the guaranteed win. Well, not the guaranteed win, but basically guaranteed win. Because Xploud actually lives a +2 body slam with my HP investment. And he did reveal that's the move that he had, body slam. So I had no reason here not to go into the Xploud. However, I was like, okay, let's go into the Victini because I can speed tie with this thing, and since it's not thick fat, Victory is going to do a lot. However, he does win the speed tie, which is quite unfortunate. And so Victini goes down. Now here I calc and Xploud I say GG because I think I lost, but then I calc Xploud lives. So I had no reason I had no reason to sack my Victini, unfortunately. But as you can see, he's gonna body slam. We live that quite comfortably because of all of our HP investment, and we can boom burst and take this Xploud, or take the Miltank out for a 2-0 victory against OldManTup. Wow. So, couple things after this match. Xploud came in clutch yet again, showing off its phenomenal awful bulk, but it was enough, clearly. I think I played the early game really well, a couple misplays, and then the late game I think I definitely made a couple misplays, but, you know, it's to be expected. We are now in the playoffs of the UAPB. I will be uploading the playoffs just because they're playoffs, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully there's more than one. Hopefully I win the thing, who knows. I wasn't really planning on caring about this league much anymore, but since I'm in the playoffs, I mean, why not? GG Tup, this is super cool battling you. I totally wasn't expecting to win this game, because you're a phenomenal battler. I've been watching for years at this point, so a really good game. And that's pretty much it, guys. I did recently hit 50 subscribers. Thanks, I guess. I don't really know what you guys are watching, but I'll take it. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Peace.